Hello and welcome to the Fan Le Batard Show Finds Out. I'm Nasty Nate, and today we're going to find out more about this sound.
Can you figure out what Jim Rome is doing? I really like to figure out why the dude that birthed all of this argument television was being suppressed.
A little directorial side note here before we begin. Our guest was not yet ready to fully reveal his identity, but he knows that he was coming on the Fan Le Batard Show, the fastest growing Dan Le Batard Show fan YouTube channel, and that we need a visual component. So I said I'm going to blur out your face. So that's why it's blurry, folks. Enjoy and subscribe. Hello and welcome, folks, to another episode of the Fan Le Batard Show Finds Out. I didn't know when I'd be doing another one of these here. Got Nasty Nate here. A little something fell into my lap. I have the worst caller from Pablo Torre Finds Out here. Would you like to go ahead and introduce yourself?
First of all, Nasty, it's a pleasure to be on here, brother.
It's a pleasure to have you.
I appreciate that. You know, I'm just a simple guy, just trying to figure out, trying to find out things. And then this, just like I fell into your lap a little bit, I guess. This podcast fell into my lap.
Mm-hmm.
And I think my ideas are pretty darn good, And I think that if you use 2 minutes of 7 minutes of content, it's still content.
That's a decent usage rate right there. You're hitting almost 50% batting. I mean, what, 2 minutes out of 7, 2 for 7? What are we talking here? You're batting above 250.
Above 250 is not going to be good enough for the playoffs. Come on, man.
I don't know. Not in this day and age of the MLB. That's a pretty good rate.
First, Nasty, Mr. Nasty, Mr. Nate, whatever you want to be called.
Either way, yeah. Nasty Nate, go ahead.
Mr. Nate, I want to just congratulate you on I was listening to that show live, and then I hear what I was hoping was going to be Scars by Papa Roach, but you for fucking there for some reason. So I enjoyed the lyrics, my man, and I'm sorry it got cut short. Just wanted to give you props, like my man Juju, mad props.
Thank you. So you found out about my parody song, which was played this week on the Le Batard Show.
Papa Roach fan, bro. Huge Papa Roach fan. We're the Roaches. This is how we're not like Swifties. We're not like Swifties, but
so I wanna get to know Pablo Torre's worst caller. What did you want Pablo to find out? What's in the other 5 minutes there?
First, can we just I want to do a quick flash forward and a quick back to where we're at. All right. If you watch the end, it says this guy called and left 7 minutes, right?
Mm-hmm. A lot of content.
So if I call, that doesn't mean that I call. That means that what he misconstrued was I called back to back to back to back to back.
A lot of backs.
Well, I forgot some things, so I don't want to waste their tape. I'm assuming they're using tape because that's what Pablo used verbatim in the show. So I think it's like the nacho rule, where if you call back to back to back to back to back to back to back, it's still one call. Much like if there's 6 nachos attached to cheese, and you pull it out and you get all that good stuff,
Mm-hmm.
all that good stuff.
What do you think has the most potential to be found out by Pablo?
Well, there's two things that he didn't even bring up, but I think he needs to figure out where Jim Rome is. I kind of miss Jim Rome.
I
Is
I
he
didn't I didn't even know he
Jim
was
Rome
missing.
smoldering? What's going on?
Well, yeah. You also mentioned Billy Corbin.
I did, yeah. I mean, well, I wanted to figure out why he had the best week of his life, best Friday of his life. It was like so many Miami public officials just, dude, got ransacked, DLP and Joe Carroyo and even the mayor. So I saw him in the Because Miami set with Roy, and he definitely had an erection. I can guarantee it.
Mm, a little Taylor
I I
situation,
I
you're
I
saying.
I call upon him to tell me that he didn't.
So we're adding to the list of finding things out. What do you think should be first priority? Now that of course you've been hired, apparently,
Oh yeah. Tez, reach out to me, brother. Come on.
or as some would say, you're definitely higher.
That I can that I can attest to. That's definitely true.
Not many people can reach a higher plane like you do.
Well, dude, I just want to find shit out. And the time that I find am most enthralled to find things out, man, like is gonna be when I'm smoking and I gotta, I'm on that higher plane. And I thought that, 8'5" Pablo was like a gift from God and they want to mock me, you know? Yet Cortez says good ideas. I got so many more good ideas.
But let's hear some of them. What are some of your good ideas? What else do
I
you
don't
have?
want to give away too much. Like I mean, I already called. I already left 3 voicemails. I'm leaving myself at that.
So you've left
And just so
three.
you know, they were back to back to back. All right, so that's one phone call. Okay,
You
and I gave.
There's three more. You're telling me there's three more out there.
Oh yeah.
So you're up to 10 voicemails, but two calls.
2 calls, 10 voicemails, 2 calls.
Two calls, 10 voicemails. Uh, could we find out what we're curious about now?
There's a high school that the GM of the Kansas City Chiefs, Brett Veach, is a graduate of, and I mean he was the first scout on Pat Mahomes his like sophomore year when he was just a scout for the Chiefs, and he's basically the reason that Kansas City took Pat Mahomes at what 16, like, and everybody thought they were crazy, and he defies logic every Sunday, Monday or Thursday, that were the days. And um, yeah, so this guy, Mike Veach, has this tie to a high school that was famous for um, an indoctrination
Hmm.
of football parents where you redshirt eighth graders. But when you redshirt an eighth grader, that means that a parent has to sign off on their child being socially inept or academically inept in order to move on to ninth grade. And so basically, he had a carousel of 19-year-old seniors. and this coach is still very much respected. And to add on top of that, there's a intersection of Matt Nagy and Brett Veach, because it's either Brett or Mike. If it's Mike, I'm gonna be so pissed. I think it might be Mike. Can you find out for me?
Can I, if it's Mike?
Yeah. GM of the Chiefs.
GM of the Chiefs. Find that out. Find that out for you right now. Like a good
Yes. Like, let's
Googler.
get something done here.
Typing away here. So what is it that you hope they discover by Brett? It's Brett Veach.
It is Brett. I was right. All right, sweet. All right.
Found that out because
we found
good
that out
with a computer like that.
Yeah,
Found it out pretty fast.
Damn, you're good. Damn, you're fast. Yeah, I mean, Stu Gott's like you are. But in the terms of checking things on the internet, that's it. But yeah, what I would hope to
I
find
found that
out
from chiefsgm.com.
That's hilarious if that actually exists. Just everybody, if you see this, go to chiefsgm.com.
Yeah.
Make sure I get some traffic, all right?
But it's apparently having its best year, but
well, I mean, that GM knows what's up, man. He'll throw to anybody. Or if he doesn't have anybody to throw to, he'll just huck it up to fucking Kelsey. How about fucking Kelsey brothers, bro? Fucking Travis fucking filing a grievance. Like, what a pussy, man. It's fucking not cool. Not cool at all. You know? Do you want to wear that shit and then act like you're not a stoner? That's not okay. You know? Don't take litigation. Figure it out with your fists. You know?
What do you think is happening with Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce?
I don't think it's a publicity stunt anymore because, like, they filed shit in, like, civil court against, like, Fox. Like, you don't do that unless, like, you actually feel like you were infringed upon. But, like, on the other fucking side, it's like you are dating the biggest star in the fucking world. It's like Jay-Z wanting to, if Jay-Z was the fucking shortstop for the Yankees and Beyonce shows up to the games and is like, why are the fucking cameras on? Like, why?
Or could it be
like, because you're a fucking superstar?
Could it be sort of like if you're Troy Aikman playing shortstop for the Pittsburgh Pirates?
Yeah. I think, yeah. Like, if I squinted while stoned, I could see him. I could actually find myself being like, wait, is that Jay-Z as shortstop while I'm at PNC and he's in a Pirates uniform and the white Jay-Z is there?
Mm-hmm. I still don't know what you want Pablo Torre to find out, though, about Brett Veach.
It's not necessarily about Brett Veach. It's about how this high school that he went through somehow didn't get any because you didn't let me finish my fucking story, man. That's why.
Because I had to look up whether it's Brent or Mike.
Yeah, that's actually on me, dude. That's super on me. I'm bad. My bad, dude. So, like, basically, it's these guys. This Coach D never got in trouble, but last year they had a new coach and they had this hazing scandal, like no one's fucking business, like with like lit cigarettes and cigars on fucking underclassmen and shit.
Who's Coach D? D's nuts.
Yeah, and find that shit out, Tori. I'm not gonna give away everything.
Yeah.
Or if I find out they're not gonna do it, then I'll give away everything.
So
Or I
so
might look for myself.
so
Or I might make a song like it to fucking Papa Roach, dude.
are you saying you already know? And you want them to confirm now? You need them to find other
No, no,
sources?
I want investigation, investigative journalism, like to find out how this dude was just under the radar, having parents defy the public school like system for education and repeat eighth grade just because they were needed for the football team.
Hmm.
And yeah,
Do you have a THC routine for watching sports?
spliffs.
Hmm.
Simple question. Simple answer. I smoke spliffs.
What do you think is out there that we don't know about?
Well, like the whole alien thing, and they came and they're like, "Yo, we found aliens." Everyone was like, "Whatever." So, I mean, what do I think that's out there? I think that I still think that there's a Yeti out there, and
Hmm.
because of global warming, we're going to discover it.
Do you
It's
have
probably
like
going
a prediction, a
to
timeline on that?
oh yeah, probably 30 years.
30 years tops before their environment just
Find
becomes.
it. Yeah. We find it. Yeah.
And what is that?
Might be deforestation. It might be, you know, methane levels. It might be, the fact that you know, they can't find food scarcity, But if there's a Yeti out there in the next 30 years, we're gonna find that Yeti. And I defy Mr. McGill, Mr. Ron McGill, to tell me otherwise.
If you had to fight a Yeti, how would you approach that?
Hey Yeti. Hey Yeti.
So
Just like a bear.
just like a bear, standard, be loud, make a lot of
Standard
noise.
like alone. I watch alone because I'm alone a lot of the time. And whenever they encounter, it's like, hey, whatever animal. Hey, badger.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think it's smart.
So as a newly hire producer for the
Keyword higher.
the Pablo Torre Finds Out show,
Higher.
would you create any new segments? Or we've got the share and tell, they've got a mailbag now, they've got their
Well, I
long
think the
form finding
mailbag's
out.
gonna be a month every month, which is cool. That's cool for me. Um, because I already left them 3 voicemails, but it's gonna be really hard to like refrain from that,
Yeah,
you know.
but it was
But
just one call.
no, absolutely. It's 3 voicemails, 1 call. I
Hmm.
mean, if it's on the same subject and I forgot some stuff and I had to call them back, that's still 1 call. All right. Um, they got to get their math right. I think it's just Pablo that's math right, but I'm not sure. Yeah, he's Harvard educated. What I would like them to add maybe is like to make sure that there's like a comedic element to each episode. I don't know how exactly they're going to do it. Um, I think that there could be like as long as you don't, cheese it up, like spin the wheel for a topic, and put them on the clock, and if you can't, whoever is on the show, whether it be Katie Nolan or Dan Soder, or, even if you bring in Pitbull, or you bring in, Brett Veach, to answer some questions. Everybody's gonna have a take on something. And so yeah, I don't think if you throw like a 5 to 7 second segment in there like that and get it sponsored, what the fuck is the matter?
Hmm. I'm wondering if there's a way.
Overall, like the show is perfect the way it is. Like the fact that he actually reached out to his fans to get information to expand his horizons, and ultimately make Dan Le Batard a lot of money and very happy, because I think there's a correlation there. Le Batard I've never seen him so jovial in the past like 2 weeks. And he only brought up his dead brother once.
Hmm.
Rest in peace, Lebo, right? At Lebo Art, LeboArt.com. And I feel like he's finally got something really good going with, Samson, and what Samson's doing under his network with, what is it, Nothing Personal. And then, Oddball's hilarious. And like bringing in the youngins. I mean, Smetty's not necessarily young. But I mean, Lucy, I think is like 24, dude, and she's like just full of knowledge. I love it. So, especially with PTFO, like let Tez, steer the ship, and everything left in the wake's gonna be fucking good.
That Cortez was a nice surprise. I always enjoyed his performances when he's talked on the show as Heat cultural correspondent. So I was a nice surprise when found out that he's a a part of the show. Do you think you're gonna maybe start calling in, and instead of asking them to find things, you might start reporting things like, "Hey, this is what I found"?
No, I don't think there's any logic in that.
You don't think you'll take it upon yourself?
They would have to extend the hand first, where it's like, hey, you got something.
So if they don't take up this Brett,
as long as they run with it, yeah, I'm cool with it.
if they don't take up this Brett Beach cause, you're just gonna let them get away with it
and giving them shit. It's still something that needs investigative journalism in order to make it an actual story arc and connect the dots that need to be connected, and make the episode or sods that are 50 minutes long but go by like that,
Mm-hmm.
And not only when you're stoned, like true introspective shit.
I see.
But I still like smoking weed. I love smoking
weed. That comes across.
And, I got a little anxiety, of course. So the higher I am, the less inhibitions I have. But I'm not driving, and so I end up calling once, just in different segments, back to back.
I mean, I think as long as nobody sneaks in there, like in between you, you've established a solid case that you're only making like one phone call. And I've called, I think twice, maybe 3 times, I can't remember, but every single call was about a different topic. So those are definitely separate calls.
No. There were a couple topics just like the one that I told you that I hope they're part of when he said, that we're already working it, so, and don't you dare try and pry. I gave you enough.
Oh, so no little, what you can't, what do you think they're working on that you sent them?
I already gave you one. I'm not giving you anything else.
Okay. That's all we've got.
I mean, yeah, I guess so. You want to be like a 10-day Tony about it, yeah.
A 10-day Tony about it. I love 10-day Tony.
I do too. I really do. And dude, I love what they're doing. He's doing with Juju with Sunday Night Live. Like that is the best fucking hour or so of post game, just rants. I love it. Everything they're doing at the Le Batard Show. It's everything that Meadowlark Media has their hands on is, I think, smart.
What drives you, Jake, if I can say your name? If not, I'll bleep it out. But
You can say my first name. That's fine.
But Jake, here, since we never fully introduced you, Jake, Pablo Torre's worst caller. What drives you? Why do you do what you do?
Because I absolutely love the aura of this pirate ship. I watched the Freedom 24 straight. I didn't miss a segment. Well, it was recorded.
You didn't go to the bathroom at all? Let's not exaggerate.
No, I definitely missed the bathroom. I definitely paused it a few times. I was probably like 2 hours off on the whole recording. No, that's a lie. Definitely not. I slept. But I went back and watched like the late night shit, especially with like McKay and like Neil Brennan on, and it's like these are people that like I fucking love, and like Neil Brennan, dude, fucking absolute genius, dude. The fact that McKay is calling in his hilariously like just what's the proper word, breathed, like he just always sounds like he's out of breath, and it's probably because of the climate, but like I'm going on a tangent again, which I'm really good at, but the whole thing is like heck fucking community, man. And I think you feel a part of that community, and I feel a part of that community, man. And sometimes when you want to find some shit out, now we have a fucking tentacle of Meadowlark Media that I can reach out to find some shit out, man, in a journalistic way. I have Oddball with Mean, who I fucking love Mean, bro. Like all hail Dart, and to have these different, like Billy Gill, like I'm not buying it. He's not really that neurotic. He's just that good of an actor. I'm telling you, he's just that good of a producer. And Mike Ryan Ruiz, all praise you. I'm actually rooting for the fucking Canes this year because of you. Them being number one in the BCS is fucking bullshit. And also, like, why was James Madison in there? That tells you why we don't use the BCS anymore.
Gotta throw a little respect James Madison's way.
Do I? I mean, I'm a buff, bro. I legit am a buff, and never have I been so excited to watch every single fucking game on Saturdays and watch Coach Prime just do his thing, man. He sat on a chair. That was hilarious, man.
What chair was it? Right? Find that out.
Probably Louis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dion doesn't sit down unless it's Louis.
No. And like our thing was shoulder to shoulder. So I texted at him, or I tweeted at him, or X'd at him, whatever we call it now. And I said, yo, Shador to Shador. Shador needs to throw a pass from his arm, all right? And then run downfield as I don't know how Dion's going to do it, but he's going to figure it out. And then Shador is going to catch it, run down the sideline. And so instead of shoulder to shoulder, we will fight forever. It will be Shador to Shador, fight. And that's coming from a buff. That's coming from it's coming from one of those real buffs, that Tony like calls out, got to be a true baller, but I'm a true buff.
Changing the game.
I mean, he's changing the portal game, that's for sure. That's why I think that like the new show I love Foot Girls. That's so hilarious, Mike Ryan show. But it should either be that or uh something along those lines. Cut that shit. That's terrible.
Supercharge it.
I think that they'd be great as Foot Girls. I mean, that's hilarious, man. And yeah, I just feel like even though I'm in the Northeast and you're on the West Coast, like we could tune into this show, which is like, the Lauer, which I love usually, except when Dan's sad. That's why I've been loving the local hour the past 2 weeks. And I think a lot of the fans are as well. And it's good to see Dan back up on a seat. And it's good to see Stugatz actually in the fucking studio and trying to become like a Dolphins fan because Jets fucking suck. But yeah, like I'll go down with this pirate shit. I don't want to watch like fucking Colin Coward. Like,
no, sir.
How do you rise to that? How do you rise to that like level with that last name? I don't get it. It sounds too much like Coward. And the alternative is that you herd cows. Yeah. So yeah, I don't need fucking insider betting advice or anything. I just want to like.
But if you were in a state,
like, hey, bro, I want to feel like I'm in on the joke. That feels good.
But it's nice, even though you know that you don't want betting advice. If you were in a betting advice and you were prone,
yeah,
or you wanted
the irony
it,
is
Billy Gill's giving it to you. If you want it,
he doesn't want to though. He does not want people.
If it's your thing, it's there for you, right? So.
No, yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm glad that they're getting their money from DraftKings, and I think that they're gonna outperform their contract now, especially with like this New York studio and what they're able to produce. It's just like bring Bomani, and the team is complete. Just get Bomani, but he ain't gonna leave HBO. Maybe he will. He would, in spite of them canceling HBO Real Sports. That'd be fucking badass.
Well, I mean, isn't Bomani's show canceled?
Oh, it is?
Yeah, that was the whole. So let me look at this. I'm helping Pablo Torre's hire producer find out. If you remember, David Sampson had that conflict when he tweeted at Bomani, I was sorry to hear that his show was canceled. I'd love to send him like I wanted to message him, but found out I'm blocked.
Oh yeah.
So, right. Bo's show has been canceled, but he's still rolling. He's got the right time. But maybe you're saying it could be the right time.
It could be the right time
to come aboard. Aye.
All of you.
All aboard.
Aye, mateys. Come on. There's no better place to be than at 9 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast than being on fucking listening to a full 53 minutes of Dan Le Batard uninterrupted on Tuesdays, making Greg Cody. First of all, Greg Cody had a damn good haircut. And fuck it if his wife doesn't like it. Okay? I'm sorry if I've been cursing too much towards the end, but I'm getting passionate. And I think that he had, what was it, Lucas, I think? It was definitely, it was definitely like Tony's boy. And I thought he got a great haircut. And then just, he can't be happy either. I need Dan and Greg Cody, because Stugatz is always going to be blissfully ignorant and happy because he's got them doubts, you know? He did those ad reads. He made his money. He could go to WFA. I'd hate it, but it's his dream, you know? And, where were we?
How about, do you have any last closing thing that you want to say to maybe Pablo Torre finds out in the show?
Yo, Tez, hit me up, bro. I go by a weird Twitter handle, if I don't mind throwing it to you, Nasty Nate. Can you tell
the
Twitter?
People what your Twitter handle is?
That's how vain I am right now.
So you can find him at Izzy's Reputation, if I'm looking at this here correct. Yeah, so Izzy's IZZYS and Reputation REPUTATION. And that's on X.
And that's a nugget for another thing that I put a call in for. And I hope that they discuss that episode, because I don't think it was fake. I don't think it was a bit. I think that Izzy was truly saddened that his time at the Le Batard show had passed, and he can't just waltz in there for 3 days and, make it his show. Because now the show goes on, so he ends up walking back on the stage.
So what did we find out from Pablo Torre Finds Out's newly hired producer? I think it's that curiosity sparks curiosity, and that sparks a whole lot of stuff.